everybody. This video is just to show this project sled that I did this year. So here it is. This is just a short little intro to the video, but you can see it's a Jag. It started out as something different. I bought this sled July of 2025. I drove down to Illinois and got it, came back all the same day. It was a long day. I'll throw some pictures in right here of either the day I got it or shortly after I got it. Yeah, so this is just an intro. I wanted to do a more complete build video or something. And I started out pretty good, and then the whole video thing kind of fizzled. You know, the project just got kind of bigger, longer, and I just stopped videoing because it just had to get done. Rocky and Quinn at Old School Arctic Cats YouTube channel, they did like their own video kind of about this and JAGs in general, but I'll put in that part of the video. Yeah, so let's just do a quick little rundown here. Well, nothing's quick when I'm explaining things, but I talked about the hood in the other video, but pretty much everything you see on this machine has been changed. The only things that are really unchanged, I would say, are these side covers. Those were good. That was one of the whole reasons I bought this machine. Side covers are unchanged. The paint on this tunnel is unchanged. The steering post and really all of the steering system is also unchanged. Besides that, pretty much everything you see is significantly different or completely not original at all. There are a few bits in the rear suspension. I made about 3 skids into one. There's a couple arms, the torsion springs. That's probably about the only thing with the skid that is still original. So, I mean, everything. I had a project, I parted out a 93 Jag Z, and luckily I kept this console. That came in handy. I needed a new one for the Jag hood setup, but also it was nice because that had a tether position. Now you could put a tether into a non-tether console. There's an opening there, but it wouldn't be labeled tether. So that made me feel good, and it matches the screen, you know, matches with the rest of the sled. That was a nice thing to pull out of storage. Let's see here, I'll just open this hood and show that. Oh, what do we got here? I keep misplacing this. Looks like first place trophy. I'll just put this over here for now. Sorry about that, everybody. Keep misplacing that thing. Back to the video. I'll just show a little bit of the underhood here. There was just a lot of little details with this. None of these things seem that significant, and they aren't on their own, but they all add up, you know, even just swapping handlebars. You're not just swapping handlebars, you're, you know, swapping kill switches and all the wiring and making sure the hand warmers work and thumb warmers, and taking like 3 different handlebars and trying to make one good handlebar. But all that stuff, it does take quite a bit of time. And I'm just really pleased with how this all turned out. It's just very clean and proper. And mechanically, everything is great. It's not just for show. This thing is pretty close to not a new machine, but everything's been gone over, and you could trust this thing to go anywhere. With all that said, I think we'll just send it into the rest of the video. Thanks for watching, everybody.
How's the Jag X today?
Perfection.
All right, so here's the new project. Figured I better take a quick video before it gets too torn down. This is the 92 EXT. The sled is nothing too special as far as how nice it is. The nicest parts of this sled are the parts I'm probably taking off. The seat is actually pretty nice. You know, the tone, graphics. The hood is really nice. The hood is pretty nice. No cracks, nothing. Great, you know, maybe I can sell the hood. You know, pretty things just owned by some fishermen, open trailer, lots of rust under here. What I'm doing is I wanted a 550 sled in this chassis, and I'm going to make kind of a custom build. What I want is the Jag special hood with the painted side panels, fiberglass painted ones. Those were actually pretty good. Not mint, but very usable. I have my shocks from my 92 Prowler Special Fox shocks. Fox reservoir shocks. These are getting sent out. I have the rear one somewhere. Also the rear track shock. This is just kind of a project for me, like kind of the AWS-1 sled that Cat should have built, or just my perfect sled. All the parts that I like from this era onto one sled. But it's gonna be more restoring than I would prefer. I mean, there's just, just rust. I got a new pipe, or a better pipe. This is the pipe I got. That pipe on the sled, this was broken off. Thing about doing some of these project builds, you start getting kind of picky, I mean, all these bolts, they just look bad. So I have new head bolts. Oh, some used head bolts that are pretty good. These coolant manifold bolts, it's kind of nice. Having years worth of Cat stuff, you end up using them on projects. Here's my old 900 head. But, say these manifold bolts, those will get used. Lots of things are gonna get used on this. But this is all gonna get stripped out, washed, painted, lots of things. I have lots of parts. I got new brake assemblies, chain cases, things to make it look better. I might change that. I might change this. I might go with the later setup where this is mounted on the side of the tank. I have the oil tank for that. I would just have to get a coolant tank. I kind of like that setup. It's just a little bit cleaner. But, I got new control arms coming. I got plastic skis. The period correct plastic skis. And these showed up the other day. These are my preferred ski on these sleds. First of all, you don't have to modify anything. Those saddles are wide enough for the spindles on these. It's really probably the only ski without modifying that you can put on them. I like the design of them. They kind of have that CNA look with the ski loop, but they're Cat skis. They look a little bit better. They just look more compact on these sleds with that ski loop. They look a little smaller. Get them side by side, you can tell. I got these just on eBay. I should have waited. They come up every once in a while. There was a nice set at St. Germain for $100 that I should have bought. They're a lot nicer than these, and I paid more for these. The issue with these is I think this sat out in the sun quite a bit. See all that degradation. So I didn't really see that in the pictures. I bought these on eBay and didn't really know that, but I'm just documenting this. We'll see. I got a few tricks I can do with some of this stuff that I'm going to be interested to see how it looks. It's getting there. these old, I really like these old machines. This chassis and everything, I like them. They're balanced really well on the trail. They slide just the right amount. I feel like this is too much track for this machine. If it hooks up too much in the corners, it's gonna be more tippy. It's nice to have a bit of slide. It really makes it a lot more effortless when that thing steps out. It's a balance, but I think that track might be a bit much. I don't know, it's hard to say. I bought a new track though. And then this is the track I got. This interesting track, no longer made. It is a camoplast track. I think they called this like the Trail Sport or something. This was the economical track. It wasn't anything that special. But it's in good shape. Price was pretty good. It's a 0.91 lug. So I like that a little bit more than stock. Under an inch. Should give it pretty good forward traction. But the straight lug, I think it'll still be able to step out in the corners, kick that back end a little bit, get that good balance. That's what I'm hoping for. I really like the stock tracks from these machines, especially like my 94 track that year. They just had such a great balance in the corners. I have this part sled outside. Gonna get a lot of parts from that. I actually had it up north. I just brought it back down. It's 96 Jag. Probably gonna use the whole skid from that. Looks like the rails are different, but the arms and everything are the same. I'm thinking the rails are just improved being at 96. But this sled's actually pretty nice. There's still zinc on these bolts, so it's gonna rob a lot of hardware from this too. It's nice having part sleds around. Could use the seat foam from this. Not sure yet. I have another seat I could use it from too. I have to do something with the handlebars on that X sled, because that one has the gauge handlebars. So either those handlebars, or I do have another set of handlebars. Here's the hood we're working with. This hood's pretty cool. Oh, it's got that green windshield on it. This is a new old stock hood. This was given to a racer, Greg from Roseau, back in the day, as a spare. He was a racer. They gave it to him as a spare. What's really cool about it, this has never been on a sled. It's never, nothing. There was only one hole in there. I made the other one. Anyone that knows these sleds knows that this area is usually open on a fan-cooled sled. Well, it always is. So, that's where the hot air comes out. So this was never opened up. But it's a Jag special hood. It's a fan-cooled hood. Well, with me having a liquid cooled, you know, I can leave that. So it's really just meant to be. Came with the nose cone. Probably gonna go with the black windshield. This green is so cool. Never seen one in any way. But it's just so hard to go wrong with the black. And I got a black one there. We'll see, but I would think I'm going with the black. It'd just be nice to use that on something. So that's what we're working with. I'm excited to see how it's going to look when it's done. It's going to be hopefully unrecognizable. Miles aren't too bad. 3,900. I'll probably use these gauges in the Jag hood. There is the tunnel graphics. So those are similar to a 91 EXT special with a little bit of change, but the colors matched. 91 EXT special, this white stripe is green. So I had them change that to white just to match that top white. But I think that'll look pretty good. It'll match.
Greg, I saw that over the summer you picked up a project sled. It was another Jag. Is this it? And tell me more about this one.
Yeah, so this looks like a Jag, believe it or not. This is actually a 92 EXT.
Wow.
That's what it started as anyway, and
Yeah.
it is now what I call a Jag, or we call it the Jag X.
Okay.
But
Cool.
yeah, there's a lot of significant things here. I mean, a new old stock Jag Special hood to start. That's
Beautiful.
a nice touch. It's so new old stock that normally it would have air outlets here for the fan cooling the hot air to come out. This did not even have those punched out, which kind of leads you into, well, how do you do that? Well, it's a liquid cooled motor now. So there's a liquid cooled 550. That's the EXT motor.
Yes.
You know,
So we didn't have to do anything with cooling because this sled, the basis of this was a liquid cooled sled. He didn't have to add the heat exchangers. He wasn't bolting on an extra water pump. This basically has a beautiful Jag hood on an EXT.
right. Yep. And you know, this is just everything I like. I wanted something with the how that Z has the
Yes.
kind of the bare plastic side covers. I kind of wanted one with the painted side covers. I have an updated 6-tower clutch on there that works great.
And one thing I've noticed too, guys, Greg has high attention to detail. We're talking, these little bolts are pristine, looking great, nice and shiny, brand new exhaust springs. Fuel lines are cut perfect to spec, the exact diameter, fit on nice and tight and right. The oil container looks like with precision pouring the oil into it. It just looks so nice and so well taken care of.
You know, this started out to be kind of a simple, you know, maybe put the hood on, do the couple little things, and then as you go, you know, you just can't, I can't put a bolt back on that's dirty or rusty, you know.
Sure.
So it just ends up becoming, you know, more.
I'm
But
quickly trying to elevate my attention to detail and quality based on Greg's. Like, he's elevating me to want to do better. I took a lot of what he does to these snowmobiles and tried to integrate that when I was doing my dad's 93 Thundercat, which made it even look better because I knew that Greg was going to see it and I wanted to impress him.
there was a lot of dumb details with this. The EXT had the gauges
Yeah.
in the handlebars, and it had the little pod thing up here with the turning windshield and all
Yes.
that. I didn't like that. That's part of, you know, I'm a Jag guy, so. But you know, part of that is relocating the gauges. Then you have to have a new wiring harness, you
Yes.
know, or you know, get a Jag wiring harness. Even this cross member up here, it had brackets on to hold that pod,
Yes.
so I had to get a Jag. I had to have a whole Jag parts, a donor sled. So many little things that you wouldn't think
Yeah.
about that aren't glamorous, but it just, that's what it took.
Which is a ton of work. Anybody that's worked on snowmobiles and doing that kind of transformation is not something you do overnight. That's a big, methodical, well thought out process to get such a cool product like this.
And then just some of the fun stuff, you know, sending out the carbs to just get a cosmetic restoration, but you know, that matters. You know, that's just,
Yeah.
it's nice.
Oh, for sure.
You know, this has the Fox reservoir shocks
Did
from.
you have to put those on, or did the chassis already have them on there?
No, it didn't. Those only came on the Prowler Special and the EXT Special
Cool.
of the day. Those are actually off of my own Prowler Special.
Okay.
But I did send those out for a cosmetic and full service, you know,
Cool.
but it's a company that specializes in restoring those shocks. But,
Wow.
you know, it's,
That's-
I'm not racing this at a competitive level, but who doesn't like?
Just against Pat, that's all.
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't like some bling on their machine though
for
too?
sure.
Like I'm not above that.
Yeah,
you know?
bet. You want some shiny on.
Right.
That's awesome.
Oh, the map light. Yeah, Quinn really likes the map light. You know, I guess back in the day they had these things called maps, and you'd unfold them, and they'd get all
You didn't have your phone?
You'd get
What
all
the heck?
frustrated, and you know, but you need, yeah, it's dark, it's nighttime, you're lost, and well, hey, you need a light to read that stupid thing. So when the engine's running, here's a, you know, actual Arctic Cat accessory map light. So
does it work?
You know, it works, and
Okay.
and you can see your fuel gauge with it then at nighttime, which you know, so when you're running out of fuel and you're lost and it's dark,
When the motor died and you can't figure
Right.
out why,
Well,
you can see. Oh,
this isn't a Polaris,
Yes, that's fair.
and you got 8 more lives. So
Yeah.
Oh, the Fox shocks. I did update the suspension and the rear end. I wanted to lower it to like the 93 spec using, you know, these mounting bolts. I had to drill new holes there to lower the machine. I just like it low. You know, it's a Jag. I don't need it to, I want it low. I want it to handle. I put the 93 up, tapered seat. It's lower and it's fitting. These are just my tastes of what I prefer. It's again just kind of everything I like about these machines.
I'll tell you what, it's stunning. I simply cannot believe how nice, and I can't reiterate that enough. Greg takes care of his sleds, and he's really into these JAGs, EXTs, and Prowlers. He really does them justice. They look sweet. And his awesome Arctic Cat coat, jacket, looks pristine. He's always got something Arctic Cat on every time I see him.
It's the 92 special jacket.
And how do they know
So
that?
it's
Got the patch on there. It's got a cool patch.
Yeah, there is a patch that's stock, but you know, the colors. Part of what I like about the 92s, the pink. You know, they kind of ended that in 92, at least on these. There was maybe some, but
Sure. Kind of went more orange, right?
yeah, yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, this is a 94, and you got the orange, and you know,
started integrating some
but
more orange.
you know, the pink was just hot.
Yeah.
You know.
You got it. Mm-hmm. Check that out.
It's like Jag hat.
This is a Jag hat. All right, so Greg, I think we've really driven home the fact that we could really use JAGs back in our lives. It's time to start this thing, and I want to see this map light.
Fingers crossed. I'm getting hooked on these JAGs, man. How's the Jag acts today?
Perfection. Perfection.
Perfect.